All right, everybody. I had to start over. This time I got Cody tagged. I got his other page tagged. Something should happen this time. Especially since I was able to tag him. And that just wouldn't make no sense. I don't see where it'll pop up. Why is not nobody popping up? Southern, nope, not popping up there. Wi-Fi is good and strong. Oh, here we go. Boom. Accept. Add. Finally seen it, y'all. All right. You there?
Yeah. Can you see me, hear me?
Hold on 1 second. Yeah, I can hear you for sure. Yeah, I can see you. How you doing, bud?
Good deal, man. Good. Doing good. Sorry, that took a little while.
Yeah, dude, I don't know what was going on, man. Sometimes people's settings can be off or something. They might not have something set to public, or dude, it's so many things, man. It could be something on my end. There ain't no telling.
Well, we got it figured out and we're here now, so that's all that
We
matters.
are here now. And that's what I was just saying, like a minute ago. I was just like, you know what? All those announcements I just did, I'll just do them at the end. I'm not going to make you wait any longer.
Yeah. No, you're good, dude. No, we're good. And I'm at home today, so if you hear my little one talking in the background or she comes through, just ignore that. But
Hey, man, I got mine right here with me, too. I understand she's got both our guinea pigs in here keeping us company. Or one of them, I'm sorry. But yeah, man. Well, man, I'm good to have. It's good to finally have you on here, Cody. We've to let everybody kind of know the backstory, man. I just reached out one day to you. I think, honestly, in a comment, and kind of ever since then, man, I've been very blessed that you reached out to me and kind of opened up the doors for us to build a relationship, a friendship, and
yeah, man.
and all those things.
Yeah. It's I know you over there. I've never really been in your side of the world, but I'm in South Alabama. And it's all social media, digital. We're in all of it. So
Yeah.
yeah, but it's good to be on.
Thank you, man. Thank you. And so I was kind of looking up, into you and all that, where, on your profile it says you're in Laverne. Is that correct?
Yeah, Laverne. I live just south of Troy. It's labeled as Laverne, but I'm in Troy, Alabama, is where I'm at. So just
Okay.
south central part of Alabama. And yeah, but I grew up in Mississippi. I grew up in Tupelo, North Mississippi. So
Oh, wow.
um,
Okay.
yeah, so I'm down here now, and me and my wife. I got a wife and two little ones. I got Addie. She's 5, be 6 this year. She'll tell you she's 5.5, and then I got little Austin. He's 2, just turned 2. So it's
Oh,
busy life. I know you're familiar with all that, but yeah, man, we're
yeah,
blessed.
absolutely, man. Give everybody a little background on everything. That's awesome. I love it. You were born over there in that's Elvis country, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yeah, that's where he was born, right down the road from where I grew up. So I'm not kin to him, but yeah, I wish I was. I probably wouldn't be sitting here talking to you. I'd be sitting on a beach somewhere.
Really?
But yeah,
Okay.
he's from Tupelo and Tupelo Honey and what everybody hears. I like the area. It's a good area. Love Mississippi. I just moved down here when I was 18, and I'm 32 now. So, yeah, I guess half my life I've been in Mississippi, and it's about half I've been here, just almost it. So,
I got you. I got you, man. Um, so how did I guess kind of going back, how did you kind of get involved in outdoors as a kid? Is it something that's kind of always been, a thing in your family,
oh
kind of
yeah,
passed down?
yeah, most definitely. I got like my great granddaddy. I got his 410 handed down to me when I was 6. Went squirrel hunting with my dad. That's kind of how I got started. And again, squirrel hunting, rabbit hunting, just shooting red birds and stuff out of my mama's yard. I shouldn't have been shooting, and stuff like that is just kind of how I got in the outdoors, fishing, hunting, all of it. Killed my first deer, and when I was 6, like I said, and just man, I've loved it ever since. I never thought that I would do anything in the outdoor industry. To be honest with you, I just watched, Jackie Bushman. I watched all the Real Tree, Primos, all the guys growing up, and just loved all the outdoors. I just dreamed of doing something kind of like that, and not necessarily I wouldn't even classify myself as I made it in any way, but I have made it in the eyes of that little 6-year-old boy. I mean, I have
Yes,
definitely
yes.
come a long way, and um, I don't know, man. I got a business degree at Troy University, 4-year degree. I don't know how I did that, but the Lord blessed me to do that. I made it through it. And I was the EHS manager, environmental health and safety manager, for about 5 years for a local sawmill here.
Mhm.
Really, really big sawmill. I mean, we were cutting 1 million board feet a day, right at it. I mean, 200 and something employees. I was over all of them, stressed, just waking up in the morning, going up there, working late nights, getting calls, incidents happening, dealing with ADM, the environmental specialist. OSHA had come in. We had some incidents happen there, and I don't know. I loved it. I did. It was fun. It was pressure, challenging. I love dealing with people, but the Lord just opened up a door here at Buckmasters, is where I'm at right now. Currently, that's kind of, I'd consider myself as I made it. As I
Oh
got in
man,
here, and
absolutely. I
but
was. I'm sorry, I'm
yeah.
gonna fix my camera for a minute. But no, I was gonna say, man. I mean, absolutely. That was one of my next questions, was kind of how that all became about.
So like me and my wife Alyssa, she's Allie from Alabama on socials and stuff. We started dating whenever we were in college, and I was just about to graduate. So I think when we got together, I think I was going in mid senior year or so, and
Mhm.
but anyway, we started talking, hit it off well. I've always obviously hunted and fished. She never did anything like that. She didn't. She fished a little here and there, but she grew up kind of at the end of a cul-de-sac, didn't do anything outdoors, didn't know anything about it, and didn't really care anything about it. Had a bad, honestly, taste in her mouth because she had some bad, history with hunting. She was just one of
Mhm.
those who just didn't believe in it, didn't understand. It's important to understand where your meat comes from and to work for what you want in life, and like not just go to the grocery store and just, it's something, it's a way of life, as you know, and anybody
Oh
probably
yeah.
in the outdoors, they understand, they grew up doing it. So I got her into it, and she just kind of enjoyed it. She loved it so much. And just hunting turkey, we started out fishing. She caught her first big bass. I don't know why, but she's got luck out of this world. I think women just seem to have that. She caught a 11-pound bass like a year and a half of us dating. Like a year later, 12-pound bass. I mean, just the stuff is like, man, I fished my whole life and I've caught like an 8-pound. Like that's a giant. And then we've got some great, incredible hunting stories, and she shot some really good deer, and of course I was giving her all my good deer that I was, hunting and finding. I wanted her to kill them and get her into it, just to enjoy that. And but anyway, she did all that, and I've always noodled. I've been noodling now, catfish noodling, grappling for about 15 years, I guess you'd say now. It's been a while, and but anyway, I've been doing that, and I got her into that. We went, yet again. It was kind of during that. I don't remember the year. I guess it was probably, I'd say like 17, 18. And she went, enjoyed it, like loved it. Like just she was like, I can't get enough of this. So we
Really?
posted some
That's awesome.
stuff and we did some things here and there on social, and we were like, let's start sharing our stuff. We did so much stuff outdoors. Like, let's create this page. And I had an idea. It was just like, let's just create it so I'm not like flooding. I want to be able to post a happy Easter or Christmas with my family or something. But then I don't want to just throw every bass we catch and every deer we kill. I want to create another page that's like ours. I want to work and try to grow something. And so we created Southern Outdoor Adventures, and It's just something where we shared what we did and with our family and what we were starting and everything. And she started Allie from Alabama, and we just, I don't know, we blinked and posted a video, and the next day it just took off. And she went from like a couple thousand, little local friends to about 30, 40,000. And then couple months go by, she had another video take off of her catching catfish, and boom, it just took off again. She's at 80, and then it just clicked and clicked and clicked. And then, she grew substantially on social, and that was before the TikTok time. And TikTok came out, and she got into that before it kind of ballooned up, when there
Mhm.
really wasn't a whole lot of creators, especially outdoor creators. There were the little TikTok dances, there was
Yeah.
those little influencers there that you see. There wasn't anybody doing anything fishing,
Mhm.
because it was obviously banning on TikTok, still does. But she grew on there, like she got 1 million on there like overnight. Like it was just because of it was she was the first one to get in there and really get in it.
Yeah.
And so she's grown substantially on that. We've grown our outdoor page. We've done, and so we've always kind of been in the outdoor world of like kind of influencer, whatever you want to call it. And we got recognized by Buckmasters. They just saw us, and we had some mutual friends, and we kind of met up with them. They were like, "Hey guys, we want y'all to kind of help what we're doing, with just what we do, just outdoors and hunting deer and just everything. Y'all family. We at this time we've had Addie. She was probably like 2 or 3. Y'all are doing what we believe in. We've always said faith, family, outdoors. Like that's what our little hit line is there, and what we try to
Mhm.
value in that order. So like they wanted that part of their channel, and they wanted us to kind of become influencers and make content for them and hunt with them and do things. So we did that. And again, 4 years ago, I guess 4 or 5 years ago is when that was, and we just started that, me and Alyssa, and we just we're enjoying that and had some really good times, good memories, good moments with them. And then it's just opportunity come up, and it was like, hey, we're looking to hire somebody as a kind of a digital marketing manager, to kind of help manage YouTube, manage podcasts and socials, and help with email and distributions and stuff like that. And I'm like, at this time I'm at the sawmill, so I'm like, yeah, I'd be open to that. And
Mhm.
then they were really wanting Alyssa. They were wanting her at the beginning because she, I will say, is a powerhouse on marketing. She got a marketing degree 4 year at Troy University also. So like she's good at this stuff. And I'm good at marketing too. And I'm good at
Mhm.
growing and social and all that. But she's really good. And they wanted her. And I was like, well, she's comfortable at her job. I'm not that comfortable. If y'all get me, you're basically getting her. So we ended up, I took a job with them as the digital marketing manager, and I'm still in that role. I've been in that role for like I said, 4 or 5 years or so.
Mhm.
I think it's about 4, and we've been with Buckmasters about 5. That's what it is. And then Alyssa, she had the opportunity about a year and a half to 2 years ago. She had a job position come up with the company also, and now she's with the company. And Buckmasters is still the household whitetail name. Everybody knows Buckmasters and the name, and Jackie Bushman and everything, and he's still there and doing. But we're a lean machine, little lean team. I mean, we've got probably 10 different people now that only work for the company, but we are getting it and grinding every day. And we wear a lot of multiple hats, me and my wife, and the others there. But it's been enjoyable and a blessing. It's been very fun to do it. I mean, like I said, I wouldn't like my friends, they tell it to me and they're like, man, Cody, you made it. And I'm like, y'all, I ain't made it. That's a job. It ain't like I sit here and I go on hunting trips all the time. And no, I still got a pile of work I do, and
Oh, absolutely.
it's still
Right.
stressful.
Yeah.
Um, but it's
I think
just,
it's more or less. I think it's more or less just the in a lot of everybody else's eyes. And I think for us, it's like, man. I mean, I'm just picturing myself being one like your best friend or something, and they're probably like, man, he's working with Buckmasters. Like that's the thing.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
that's the thing there. That's what makes it so cool.
it
You
is a
know,
blessing, but it's,
it is very
it's
much. I
been
know.
fun. It's been fun. And we've got Austin, like I said, he's 2 year old, and being able to work for the company has allowed us to have a lot more leniency on, like, just spending time with
Oh yeah.
them. Like
Oh yeah.
I'm
Absolutely.
home. if I was at that sawmill right now, I wouldn't be at home right now. I'd be up there, and we'd have to have Addie in some school or somebody else watching her right now while she's out on summer break. And it's just, and it's very such a blessing to be able to do what I like and love and enjoy, and then to have time to spend with my kids. That's what
Absolutely.
I love. That's it is a blessing.
Yeah, y'all have a lovely family, man. I enjoy watching all y'all content, and I wanted to say right now, I apologize. I didn't even know y'all had that one page until you texted me a minute ago.
Oh no, you're
And
good.
yeah,
It's just something we've got our following is on TikTok and Instagram on that page, and
okay,
I've never really got into Facebook. I've on it. I've just got. That's the thing about doing what I do too. Like, I handling Buckmasters stuff and growing it is like my baby, my goal. And like I cannot sit there and it's so hard to get home because that's when I have to do it. I can't do it during the day, during work.
yeah,
I got to
yep,
get home and find a way to curate and grow our personal stuff, which is hard, because I'm drained after the day. I'm trying to grow Buckmasters, and we've done that. We've done very well since I've been there, and we've been blessed there. But it's just hard to shift gears and turn back to our personal stuff, But
yeah. I make time for it, probably. I
yeah,
mean,
make
between
time.
kids and work and everything else, I mean, there's hardly very little time for to make. It's not enough time in a day, man. It really isn't.
No, it ain't. It is not.
Um, so I going back to the noodling thing, man. I noticed like y'all have been catching a lot of huge catfish. Now what water systems are y'all doing that in over there?
Man, we go on the Coosa River. It's a really good system. I do guided noodling trips on there actually during the summer. I don't take a pile of people, but I do that, and you can catch a pile of good solid fish. I mean, you can catch, anywhere from a 10-pound fish to a 50-pound fish, but you're not going to really get into that 60 mark, and we realized that's where we started, noodling, and we realized that pretty quick. So we've got buddies who noodle up there in Tennessee on the Tennessee River, and we know we're able to see quick just how different that river system is compared to like the smaller Coosa. And I don't know what river systems you have over there that kind of you could compare, but it's basically it's just bigger water. The Tennessee River is bigger water systems, it's bigger fish. If you see a lot of the catfish tournaments, big catfish, like big money, like several $100,000 tournaments, that they're playing and are fishing. That's
Oh,
where that's where they're at is on the Tennessee River. And so
oh yeah.
I told Alyssa, I was like, babe, we got to get up here. Like it's going to be a drive for us, but it's going to be a lot of money and time invested. But if we can get up here, the quality of quantity is there. And so we'd put out a box on Lay Lake. And, a lot of the spots we fish and noodle are natural spots.
Put him down
Um,
good and fix my camera. Hold on one second, Cody. I'm
oh, you're
sorry.
good. You're good.
My camera's trying to fall on me.
You're
Camera's
good.
broke, and my daughter came by and took something off of it, so I'm trying to get my stand back right.
You're fine, man.
Because I got a good question I wanted to ask you pertaining to the. All right, you there?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm there.
All
I'm trying to
right,
hold
no,
my
no,
phone up too because mine is dying. So I got it charged up. But no, so like noodling, like a lot of the spots I do natural spots. I do like we've got some stuff in like tree roots and bases of trees on banks and stuff we do. But a majority of that I do try to steer clear. That's where your snakes and beavers and turtles and stuff are going to be, and but we've got a lot of spots are like boat ramps and like seawalls, like concrete seawalls. If you can imagine like the concrete along the edge, the fish will get under those, burrow up in the bank. They'll get under the corner pockets of like a boat ramp, and they'll get in there and burrow in there, and they'll nest in there. At the ends of the ramps are really good. So we grew up doing that. Like you just
yeah.
get cut up on the concrete. Your arms look like you've put it through a dang meat shredder at the end of the day. Like it's hard. It's hard to get a fish, and they tunnel back in there. They'll go 10 foot back in up under the ramp or the bank, so it's just harder to get them. it's challenging, but it's fun. But we were like, let's put some boxes out. So we started putting boxes out on lay on the Coosa River, and it'd
Hmm.
hold a fish. It'd hold a 15, 20, 30 pound fish, you know. But I'm like, man, I don't. It's kind of like deer hunt, you know. You don't want to go hunt a 115, 120 inch deer if you could hunt 150 plus, you know. So we
Hmm.
uh we ended up we started going on that Tennessee River. You put a box out, and on Coosa it would take a month uh, to sometimes a couple years for a fish even gets in there. It's just I don't know why. It's just I guess the quantity of fish. I don't really know, but or if they're
Yeah.
just weirded out by it. You put something out on the Tennessee River and they 2 to 3 days. I mean, if you put it out during season, 2 to 3 days, there's a fish in it. I mean, it's the craziest thing. And I'm not talking about a 10, 15 pound fish. You're like 50, 60 pound fish. And you're like, crap, man, this is it. Like, and on a fish like that, you only really want one or two per trip that's 50 plus. Like you about physically can't handle it, especially a blue. Like if you're catching a 60 plus pound blue, he's hurting you, man. Like it's hard to handle. He takes a lot of energy out of you. So like I don't need a whole lot of junk out there. I just need some good stuff and some good spots on the river. And so that's what we've done over the years is we've tried to key points, point out some of those good spots. And we've done that. We found a lot of trial and error and moving boxes here and there. But we have got some really good spots out up there, and we catch some dang good fish up there now.
Have y'all ever tried the I don't know how far y'all would be from it, but I would imagine it would be, if not the same distance, a little closer. But in my state, in Georgia, next to you, we have the Altamaha River. Have you ever heard of the Altamaha?
I haven't. Is that? But you're
It's
on
like
like,
it's
where's
like
that at?
in middle south Georgia, somewhere up in there. Jessup County, Wayne County, those kind of areas. But my gosh, man, that river right there is a big river system, and it has lots of huge flatheads and
Yeah,
blues.
see, and I've been hunting for a local kind of, I'd say local river system that I could go and stop having to go to the Tennessee because it's 4.5 hours to get up there, and
You're
but it's
five and
like,
a half. Yeah, you're 5.5 for me. I looked it up, or five, or something like that. And I want to say the Altamaha for me is about 2 hours. So I want to say, and like that's 2 hours, like kind of towards you, kind of driving at an angle. So I
yeah,
would say it's probably about 3 hours from you. We'll have to look it up later. You have to remember to look it up later.
yeah, I will. The biggest thing, like I'm only an hour, right at an hour from Eufaula, and that's the Chattahoochee, I think is what you call that, and
Okay.
and it's Eufaula, on y'all's side, you got Georgia, and on our side's Alabama. Is how it's the river split. It runs right down the state line, and they have got some giant fish on there, and I really want to go to it. But the biggest thing down here in the South, where we're at, is you've got a lot of gators, and
Yeah.
listen, she don't like the gator. I don't mind dealing with them. I know that they're not really going to mess with you a whole lot, and depending on where you put your stuff, I think that I would be fine, but it's that I think. I mean, you're thinking about life or death. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like it's not like
Yeah.
you're. So I want to. That's the biggest thing is trying to get away from them. Because like the Alabama River is, dude, it's I mean 30, 45 minutes away from us here, and but
Yeah.
it's loaded. Like I think the state record for Alabama was taken there in Camden off Miller's Ferry, and we've got spots out there that we go and we catch some really good fish, but it's just the gators. I don't. We actually had a video, man, that went viral and took off, man. It was we were out there fishing. That was the last time we went fishing there. Obviously, when you hear why, but we were sitting there and we were fishing, and uh, it's kind of like a little finger, a little canal in there, and there are little boat ramps here, there on each side, and it's just loaded full of flatheads, man. You just get in there, and they've got spots burrowed out all in there. You just gotta know how to find them. And we were catching the heck out of them. This is like our third or fourth trip out there, and we had seen gators, man. We had like there's been some gators there, but we got in the water. I was catching a fish, and Melissa said, "Look up." She said, "There's a gator right there." And I mean, dude, 50 yards. There's a gator just head sitting there, probably like a 4 or 5 footer. Wasn't big, but she's enough to freak her out. And I said, yeah, babe, there's gators here. Like, I've known that. Like, and she was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I ain't going here. And I said, let's, all right, I'm good. I said, we done had a good day. I said, let's just go ahead and head out. We headed out, man. And I am not, I can't even, there's so many times that people say, I'm not exaggerating. You wouldn't believe it. Like, seriously, I cranked the motor up and we had like a little 50 Mercury on there. And we were just going down this channel, just putting, just enough to not make a wake. And we were going through there, getting on out there on the end. It's probably 30 minutes drive back in that little finger. We were getting towards the end there, and the motor just went and just cut off. And I'm like, dang, man, there's a lot of weeds and logs and junk in there, And I'm like, man, I done hit a dang log or something, or got it caught up in fish line or some vines, weeds or something in here. Well, I let my trolling motor up. And I am not kidding, man. That is about a 3.5, 4 foot gator was caught in the prop in between the propeller and the motor. And it had wedged in there and shut my motor off. And I just looked at Alyssa and I said, there ain't no way. I said, I don't know. He's not moving. Like, I'm freaking out. Like, he's not doing anything. He's just laying there limp as a noodle hanging. And I am freaking out, man. And I get up and I poke it with a stick and I'm like, what is going on? Like, what the heck? Get out in the water. He's dead. I'm like, I guess I killed him. And I get over there to his head. He has a bullet hole in his head where somebody had shot him. And what had happened is he had sunk to the bottom of that little center of that little canal and died right there. And there's so many houses in there and so many people, dogs and stuff. They probably shot him just because of dogs. It's midsummer. I know there wasn't no gator tags for him. And so somebody shot him illegally. But man, that video took off because I videoed it, and I'm like, there ain't no way. I promise, did not wedge that thing in there, nothing. It's just the luck of the draw. Right where I was at, just happened to work its way in there and just jam my motor up. It's pretty crazy. But
where's that video at? So I can look it up later.
Yeah, it's on our outdoor page. You can go back on our videos and reels. It's got like
the Southern Outdoorsman.
Yeah, on Instagram if you go there, but it's got, man, like 8 million views on there, and we've shared it a couple other times. But man, as you know, like video, you know how the viral videos work, and once you share it, everybody takes it and steals it and takes it and shares it. Man, that thing's got it's all over the place. But it was a fun day, but after that we stopped going there. We were like, we're not gonna go back here, the Alabama River. So,
oh man, yeah, I tried the noodling thing, man. It is really fun to do. And if you never tried it, for everybody out there watching, you should at least get with somebody that does it and try it at least one time. I've never gotten my first one yet, but I did go and at least got to experience it. I did have one bite my hand, but I wasn't able to get it. But it seemed pretty fun.
Yeah, it's a blast, man. It's like,
go ahead.
You just, whenever like your bass fishing is hot and it's like you're sitting out there, you burning up, and you ain't catching nothing. You'll catch 2 or 3, in your little fishing trip. Like, it's just hard, and when you're doing that, you're able to get in the water, in and out of the water. You're having fun with your friends. You don't have to have a fishing pole. You don't have to spend a whole lot of pile of money on baits and lures and stuff. And you're just going to the fish. That's the part, like, and you're gonna catch a fish. Like, there's no, man, we might catch 1 or 2 today. Like, at the beginning and towards the end of the season, yeah, it's like that. But then the most time you're gonna go is like you're gonna catch a pile of fish. You're gonna get bit. It's fun. So like, it's just an adrenaline rush, man, that you can't really compare to anything else.
Yeah, it is, man. I've seen lots of pictures that y'all been posting. I've been catching a lot of nice ones, man. And to answer your question, going back to the river systems on our side, is we have what we call the Savannah River.
Yeah.
It borders the Georgia and South Carolina. So kind of similar to what you were talking about. That's our border over here is the river to South Carolina.
I got you.
Yep. And then so like all our lakes, I want to say it's like Hartwell, Lanier, and then Clark Seal, Lake Thurman. Some people call it Clark Seal, some people call it Lake Thurman. But and then it goes into the Savannah River all the way down to Savannah. But yeah, we got a nice river system too, man. We got a lot of big catfish, a lot of big striper, a lot of big fish around our systems too.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, a lot of good fishing around here too, man.
if I could get over there, I'd put some stuff out there too. But it's just hard with these kids, man. You know,
Oh yeah.
building stuff is like it takes a lot of money, it takes time, and then just to
Yeah.
find that in itself is hard. You know, to just build some stuff, and then you got to haul it 4.5 hours.
Yep.
You know, and then get it out. You know, I'm having to buy concrete bags because I can't take riprap off the banks and stuff, and rock and stuff because it's illegal. So I'm having to bring in my own stuff to weigh this stuff down. It's just
Mm.
a pile of money, it's a pile of time, and just it's hard to do. But that's why I wish I had somewhere closer. But it works out where we're at. We're just I'll take up a box or two each trip, and we go 10, 15 times a year, up there, and so you're able to put out a pretty good bit of stuff.
Yeah. That's awesome, dude. Um. All right, let's switch gears. Let's switch gears from noodling. But I did want to talk about. I even have a big asterisk mark right here on that I wrote down for noodling. But so is that what y'all well, before I move on, that's probably what y'all do like the most of on y'all's free time. You would probably say is the noodling.
It's just whatever's in season. I mean, it's like during the summer, that's all we do. Yeah, like we spend every weekend on the water, like we are noodling. And then yeah, during deer season though, we're hunting, we're turkey. Like
Yeah,
basically anything that we is in season. We're
y'all do not have
outside. Yeah, we're not necessarily we don't I don't have a video game. I don't have none of that stuff. I don't want my kids on it. I'd love getting them outside, and we spend that time as a family, putting out deer feed and moving cameras and building stands and hanging this and doing that. Like
That's
that's
what it's
that's
all
what
about.
yeah, that's what we try to spend a majority of our time doing.
Yep. Getting the kids involved, man. That's what it's all about. That's what I try to promote on my page a lot too, man. Is getting the kids in the outdoors. Um, I try to encourage a lot of the parents that are out there, and sometimes like the kids that are a little on the younger side that hey, show them the pictures, get them excited. That might make them want to go hunting that much more or fishing that much more. You don't never know. So
That's right. That's so right, man. And the way the world is now, it's really important. I mean, there's the drugs, bad stuff, cell phone, social media can be bad. All of
yeah,
that's just at their little fingertips. And at a young
yeah,
age, like there's stuff that, a 10 to 12-year-old is seeing and experiencing. They're going to see it and experience it no matter what you do, obviously. I mean,
oh,
they're experiencing what a 16 to 18-year-old back in my time when I was that age, they're experiencing it now when they're 12. And it's like,
well, yeah,
golly, man, it's scary. And that's
yep,
kind of how I grew up, though. I wouldn't say like sheltered myself, but it was my outlet, Even growing up in high school, I still to this day, I never drink. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I've never done anything. And I've always had that high and that outlet of get away and decompress is the outdoors and fishing and hunting. And so, like, that's my go to. That's my drug. And if I can be able to tell my kids that, and wholeheartedly mean it, like, I've never smoked, I've never drank, I've never done this, I've never done that, but my outlet is this. And then I'm showing them and I'm physically putting them on the bank with a fishing pole in their hand. And I'm saying, hey, this is what matters. You don't have to go to a
yep,
bottle. You don't have to go to something that makes you buzz. You don't have to have friends who make you feel a little special or this or that. Like you can be you. You can have you and yourself. You can have your friend, your sibling can be your friend. You can have I'll be your friend. And that's just how I grew up. And I was lucky and blessed enough that my parents were like that growing up that that was my outlet. And I felt safe in the outdoors. I was able to go out there and do that. And I don't know, man, I just, with different views of different people, but I just feel like it's so important, especially in today's world of how sinful it is, and has gotten. I feel like that it's important to have that and to have that as a resource for them to go to.
absolutely, absolutely. I agree. I mean, the outdoors. If anybody's watching that don't normally go in the outdoors, sorry, Lydia. Hold on one second, Cody.
Are you good?
Um, sorry, I was just going to say, yeah, getting the kids in the outdoors, man. I mean, that's a very important thing. I try and do that, like I said, as well. Going in, and when you're sitting in the deer stand, or in your case, a lot of times in the water,
Yeah.
that's like you said, that's your outlet. And props to you, man. That's you know, that's really cool to be able to be that strong, and to fight off stuff like that, because I mean it's very hard to do. I mean, I can't say I haven't never done any of those things.
Yeah. And
But
again, it's like,
it's very hard. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because it's very
I
tough.
just, well,
Especially with,
my main thing that I like, I've tried to make sure my kids too know and understand, like judging, like be respectful, treat people up as you want to be treated. And, but like, that's the biggest thing too, that even my wife, Alyssa, she hasn't just lived a perfect, my heck, I ain't saying I lived a perfect on that side, but, you know,
yeah,
whenever I first got together, she had done some, drinking here, party with her friends, and like she looked at me like, since I hadn't done that, like I judged her. Like I'm not judgmental in any form or any way of that. Like
mhm,
I've just, it's just a decision I made when I was younger, and I stuck with it.
yeah,
That's just where I'm at with it, and
yeah.
it's just the itch is on, and but it's I think it's just so, man, so important. I just really do, especially for the kids.
My bad, Cody. Hold on, I'm gonna get this stick.
Oh, you're good, man.
Oh, come on. Hold on 1 second, brother.
You're fine, man.
I need your help. You don't mind helping me? Hold here for a second. All right, sorry, Cody.
You're good.
I got to order a new phone stand, obviously, because
I'm using my computer right now.
Oh, you use my phone stand.
I'm using my computer as a prop. That's my phone stand. So,
I got the brother. Yeah, I had one, but I broke it the other week, and so it's got two legs instead of three. So I'm having to like prop it up right now so I can get the other one in. But
all good.
but anyways, man. But so I wanted to switch over kind of to deer hunt, man. Do y'all hunt a lot of public land, or do y'all have private land that y'all get to hunt?
Yeah, we private land. I've hunted some public growing up, especially back in Mississippi, and it's fun. Really love public, but it's the challenges that come with it that just kind of make you want to really work hard to find and keep that private land. And that's, I've been blessed to be able to do that. And we've got about 1,400 acres here in South Alabama that we hunt that's private. And luckily enough, it's not the 10, 15 people in a hunting club type thing. We've been blessed to have found that. And to be honest, it's just me and my wife and my dad. We're the only ones that hunt it. I'll take care of it and keep the food plots cleaned up and roads clear for the guy who owns it. And that's really about the main thing he wants. He just wants to be able to have a place to take his grandchild or his friends or somebody to be able to go sit in a food plot every now and then. And that's just, we've been hunting that for years now, and it's got some
Yeah.
really good deer on it.
I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they were talking about on there like south. It seemed like to them it seemed like south of Montgomery. They said the terrain changes. Like, would you agree to that? Like, I
Yeah,
don't know what you say you would, but I think they were trying to say that it gets more like, were they saying like sandy or
yeah,
something? It
yeah.
does?
It's
Okay.
yeah, it's Alabama, man, is so weird on thing. Even Mississippi's kind of like that, but like where we're at, there it's like the beach. I mean, it's so much sand down here. You've got like the dirt roads, you gravel road. Like there's no gravel. It's sand. It's just sand roads. I don't know if it might be like that over there where y'all are at, but
It's a
it's
good
just,
mix. I mean, I would say the difference will probably we have areas of red clay, a lot of red clay too, though. So,
yeah,
but
that's
yeah,
the way
we
it
have
is here.
yeah,
And but yeah, the terrain too, like the just kind of uh, what you call it, but the vegetation. I mean, you've got a lot of privet, a lot of thickets, a lot of cut over, a lot of longleaf pine is what they're cutting and harvesting down here. And that's 10, 15, 20, 30 years they'll be cutting that. whether that's
Yeah.
in the early stage for pulp or log in the later. So they're able to turn it out quick, So it's the same as Georgia, Mississippi, and all, but they're just that is a lot of agriculture, timber industry is what you call it, is here. And then never planted a peanut back in North Mississippi or even South Mississippi. I never saw peanuts. And down here, there's nothing but peanuts. And that has helped. I think that helps the deer a tremendous amount with antler growth. Uh, Not a whole lot of soybeans, but back in Mississippi, there were soybeans. So, like, I don't know, it's flopped. There's a lot of cotton down here, a lot of corn, but the deer, really good genetics down here. There's not a whole lot of mass. It's the same as over there, I think, where you guys are at. Some good frames, good character, a lot of kickers you might get. You might just go in a place and you'll hunt it your whole life and just see nothing but a good straight slick 8. But
Yeah.
there's some places you go and you'll see a bunch of junk. Where we're at, we've kind of got a mixture of that, and it's genetics are there, and you just got to keep that mineral out for them. We get a lot of food source for them. We feed a lot of protein. We try to, and keep them fat and happy, and they'll just put the horn on as they grow.
What's y'all's favorite thing to plant for them during the summer? Like, what do y'all got going on right now for them?
We do some peas, and we do main thing in the summer I try to focus on is mineral. I do a lot of mineral sites. I feel like that's very important, and I try to supplement and add back to those around that February to March time frame because they're coming off that high of a rut. They're still rutting. No rut here in South Alabama where I'm at. They'll rut up until March, man. I've been sitting. Yeah, it's stupid. There's deer getting bred in December here, and then there's also deer getting bred in March. I sat there and turkey hunted and had turkey coming in. I'm not exaggerating. Turkey coming in, and then there's here comes he's chasing. It's scrapes and rubs. It's the dangest thing that you've ever seen, and you'll see them. You'll have during first of bow season this coming October. You'll have a fawn, and she'll be about midway of spots, and then you'll have mid to end November. I'll see another one with a pair, two with a mama or one with a mama, and she'll still have spots. Still, just looks like she's mid of her life of just about to get out of spots. And I'm like, how? I don't know. It's the weirdest thing. But we're on that line of like, kind of Montgomery is different though. Like Montgomery up, you're getting your rut around like that Decemberish, time frame in which November, December, but down here, January, 1st of January, sometimes they haven't even really thought about rut. Normally it's like that January 15th, all the way through the end of season. Our season ends in February 10th. And
Okay.
and they are just you go that January, mid-January to the end of season, it's like the October or November in the Midwest. It's the craziest thing. There's bucks everywhere chasing.
That's
It's
so wild, man. Like, I got a guy coming on next week. He works for National Deer Association, and he might have some insight on all that. But that'd be something I'd like to ask him. Man, is like what makes because this guy's got so much knowledge. Oh my gosh! But I wonder what makes the rut like that. Like, and especially like we're not talking about y'all are out west. I mean, you're 4 hours, 5 hours from me. How is it so different?
I
in
think
that amount?
it's what it is, and I've done research and I've asked and I've seen. I think it's just a kind of a cumulative of different things. Like you've got, for one, you just got different breed of deer. If you put, I don't say if you put a deer from Florida up there in the Midwest, he'd live and he'd be fine. But I'm gonna say that his rut would still be the same as he would have it down here in Florida, over time. But I think over time also, like as the deer adapt and to an environment, a lot of our deer were brought in from Michigan and Wisconsin and a lot of different states. And that's the case for a lot of these southern states. A lot of these southern states didn't have any deer back in the 50s, 40s, and 50s. And and this guy, you can talk to him about that, and he's probably got more knowledge. But with me working at Buckmasters, I've done these podcasts. I was just talking, I did a podcast 2 days ago with Dustin Huff, the Huff Buck from Indiana. And we were talking about that because in Indiana up there, he was like, man, when my dad was little, we didn't have any deer growing up. And now he's taking a 211 inch the huff buck, and
Yeah.
it's like how does that quick? How do they change? But like they adapt. I feel like the God had created them and to adapt to the environment. I mean, it's just like wherever you're at. If you go stick you out in Alaska, you're gonna struggle.
Oh,
And you're
for
gonna
a
figure
while,
out
I get used to it. Yeah.
you're gonna figure out how to become an Eskimo and stay warm, and you're
Yeah.
gonna and it's just the way it is. These suburban deer, same way. If you stick a deer in a 2 acre woodlot, he's gonna figure out how to deter people and stay away, but still survive. And it's the same thing for all that. And that season of, I think the way God made it, of why they are bred and have their babies when they do, is because of, I think it's the heat.
The
Down here
environment.
the environment, it stays hot for way longer. I think predators play a lot of role in that. Like down there in South Florida, I don't know if you're familiar. I've shared some stuff on Buckmasters here lately, but in South Florida, they actually their rut has been going on and is in like full swing, you could about say right now. And in August, they're going to
What?
be, oh yeah,
Right now?
dude, it's stupid. They were hard horned like a month ago. Um, it's crazy. It's insane. But like, yeah,
That's
look it up
wild.
in like the Everglades, South Florida. I'm talking about
Yeah.
way the heck down there. I'm not talking mid.
Yeah.
I'm way down. But I think it's because of the environment. I think it's of like, it could be of the hurricane season. I think that's got a lot to do with it. I think that the deer have adapted and God created it to where they need to have their babies and be old enough and mature enough for when the hurricanes hit, they're able to, be able to actually survive. Because if they didn't, they
Dude, that
wouldn't
makes
be
so much
here.
sense.
And it's like the same thing for like
Up north
Midwest.
there. Yeah.
Midwest, they have their deer season, or their rut is like October. I mean, they're rutting hard, in October, November. Like, I think that's because of the winter, the harsh winter. And I think we're in I feel like you could stick a deer from anywhere and he's going to rut whenever he wants down here. It's just kind of whenever it comes in, because we're in the most easygoing climate control. We're not, it's hot down here, but it's also, it don't get super cold. Like, it's perfect,
Yeah.
I don't feel like there's too much harsh that, kind of deals with the deer
It's
have
a
to
good
do.
mix.
Yeah, yeah. But no, it's crazy, man. But the weird part here is like we're just on that line. You can drive an hour this way and you've got the rut in December. You can drive an hour that way and you've got the rut, in February. It's just
And to be honest with you, Cody, it's very similar like that actually over here near me too, man. Because I've talked to people, you know, and on my page and all, and guys will be, a few counties over, and they'll be giving me reports, a couple more counties over further than that, and it's way different, and it's
yeah,
just I don't know, man. I've even seen on the map, like on our Georgia Outdoor News map, and it'll show like I want to say in like south of West Georgia near the Florida line. It's like a few counties down there where like the rut is like in January, February, like you're talking about. But around where I'm at, it's more like an October, November thing.
yeah.
Um,
And it's the same thing for all of it, though, man. You think
yeah,
about it. That's why seasons, people do, and I get frustrated like with seasons of why does a season come in when it does and end when it does. Like even especially turkey. If turkey is really, I've struggled with that over the years because it's like turkey season, they're already doing their thing and season don't come in for another 2 or 3 weeks. And you're like, man, I'm missing my window. But
yeah,
everything is designed, I feel like on that, I think I talked to Dustin about this Huff the other day, but like, everything's about money in the world of the wildlife, game and fish. I mean, but obviously that's what helps fund what they do
what they
and
do, yeah.
help protect what we do, and us for us to be able to hunt. But a lot of that, they're smart and they have done a lot of study and research on that stuff. And so like that's why you have so I think just about dang every state, especially here in the South, has like a zone A, a zone B, zone C,
Yeah,
and that's how we are in Alabama. We're zoned out where, you know, zone, we might have a longer extended doe season or you can kill a little bit more doe or buck in this area, or it might come, deer season might come in a little later here.
yeah,
And all of that's based
exactly.
off of, the
Yep.
offspring being born, all of the stuff. I mean, the rut. The same thing for turkeys. I mean, the do that. I feel like the population is such in decline of turkeys. They really want those. The reason behind that is they want those poults to be, have the best chance of survival and those hens to get bred. And if you're getting your tom shot off of a hen, and that hen's not getting bred, then there you go. You're not having any offspring, which is just
Which,
going to
which is
affect your
what you're
rankings.
saying, yeah. Which is why the season is the way it is for that reason.
Yeah, yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
It don't. It sucks as a hunter. It don't make sense, but it's just something you got to trust, I guess, and know that they're in that position to make that decision for a reason.
Yeah, and hope that it's always in our best interest as
Yeah,
an outdoor community. Which I think you're going to have a few bad apples in anything, in every kind of
yeah.
in anything we do, right? But I think for the most majority of them, they're all really great people. I know
Oh
many of
yeah,
them.
yeah. And the what I was saying, it's about making money, and it is
Yeah,
about, like, Tennessee just had their now you can pay to have a baiting license for that early velvet season, and that is just, to me, bizarre. Like, I'm it's honestly, it's not even fair for the whitetail. I mean, you're now able to go to Tennessee, put out a pile of corn, buy a bait license, and shoot a mature whitetail in velvet with your bow over a pile of corn. Believe me, I'm gonna do it. I'm hunting it this year. I mean,
uh,
but it is, to me, it's just like, how is that right? Like, that is so crazy. But it is about money. It's about, I don't know the numbers of the whitetail in Tennessee, but that's something
yeah,
they've studied. I don't know how much money that might be generated from that they might be able to offset and put towards another goal here in the fisheries wildlife department. I don't. So, like, all of that's for a reason, and those guys are in those positions. I feel like, I firmly believe, though, the reason we have wildlife and turkey and whitetail brought in from these other places, and all, it's because of them. If we didn't have that, Ducks Unlimited, if we didn't have National Wildlife Turkey Federation, if we didn't have all the advocates of
yeah.
whitetail, and we wouldn't have be able to hunt that stuff and fish
No,
it.
we wouldn't have
So,
any of this. We wouldn't be doing what we're doing right now.
so them having their ways of making money here and ways of doing seasons here and there, like, it's for a reason. It's not just for the heck of it. It's not like they wake up the next day and, like, you know what? I'm gonna push season back a little bit. I'm gonna charge a little more. It's for a reason.
Yeah. I got you. I understand. Yeah, that makes sense too, man. I agree. I totally agree to that. And like going back to the other stuff, I mean, like northern deer, I believe God made them, 300 something pounds, so that way they could be able to handle those harsh winters and stuff like that. It makes total
Uh-huh.
sense.
Totally.
You know. Do you guys use any cameras? Do y'all utilize cameras, cell cameras, any kind of cameras
Oh
for
yeah. Yeah, I've always used cameras, and that's something else that I've talked to guys about here lately, that I love hate type of relationship, man. And, like, I love trail cameras. They're good, but,
It's a
like,
hot topic. It's a hot
yeah,
topic. I stress let's use them as a tool and not a crutch. I mean,
yeah,
that's a big. I've heard other people say that. I love that saying.
yeah. But, like, there's so many times, especially even I'm guilty of, is like, I use it as a crutch. Like, I'm like, if I don't have a good deer on camera, I'm like, I'm not hunting that. Why would I hunt that? But, like, Dustin Huff, that's just enough. Dude, there's so many deer that I do because, on Buckmasters, I created
Yeah,
that podcast called Big Buck Blueprint, and
I
I
watch
talk
it.
about
I
deer
watch
and
it on
deer.
film.
Yeah, and so we talk about deer and deer stories on there, and I don't know if you froze up there.
Power went out.
There you go. You good?
Sorry, sorry. Hey man, my power went out for a minute. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. You're good. I think we're back on.
Yeah, the lights went off and everything. I was like, what the world?
We talk about those stories of those deer, and how they were taken, and obviously we go into all the guts of it and everything that's about it. And it's really fun. But, like Dustin Huff, at 211-inch in Indiana, he did not have that deer on camera. He didn't really put trail cameras out. He just went and sat on a good spot on a finger on top of an oak flat, and he climbed the tree, and right at dark, he caught the deer skirting her on the edge and shot it with his crossbow. It's like, I don't
What?
know.
No history. No
Oh,
history or
no,
nothing.
no history at all. And there's so many times that are like that. But then I'll get in a podcast, and then the guy's got 6, 7, 8 years of history with a deer off of a trail camera. And he's never seen him in person. And the first time he saw him in person, he killed him. And like, so like, I don't know, man. It's like I just remember the day, and it's so sad. And I've seen a lot of stuff like this on like social here lately, but you're in the generation of this. I think I'm on the last. I know I'm on the last generation of it, the millennial, and like,
I'm 39. I'm 39 to answer your question if you want to, if you want to know. So, yeah, I'm not
yeah,
that much older than you, but 39.
okay, I'm 32. Well, but like our kids will never know what it's like to live in a world of no digital, no cell phone. Like
Oh, I know.
I remember when I was little not having a cell phone. I remember the flip phone. That was it. Like I remember
Yeah,
back before there was a cell phone. It was like when I was there was the big old you had like the I don't know what they had some sort of way they communicated back then. I don't know what it was called, but it was kind of like a walkie-talkie in a way. Like that's it. Like that we didn't have
yeah.
nothing, and cell cameras were not a thing. Like
Mhm.
you remember the big Moultries, and you had the little roll of you had to take to Walmart, and like all of that
Yep.
is like I had so much enjoyment from going to a spot and not knowing what the heck was about to come out. It was like a
This
mystery.
thing,
It was like
yes, yes.
there could be a moose come through, dude. I don't know. I don't know what's here. The Black Panther could be alive. There could be black bears in this area. I don't know. And so like you had that mystery of like there could be a 12 bearded turkey that I don't know. Now you know. I'd say like 80% of the way because there are animals who just skirt cameras and they're smart. But man, you know what's there. And it's like you don't the enjoyment of being able to take a film with my dad, going Walmart shopping, on Sunday morning, and we'd go shopping and we'd drop off as soon as we get there. I had the little roll in my pocket, and we'd run it back there, and I'd drop it off with the old man. He'd get it published, and then by the time we were done shopping, it'd be ready. We'd run over
Man,
there.
you sound just like me. Oh my God, that just brought back so many memories. I did the same
Yeah.
thing.
And then you'd flip through it only to see that you got like a doe and a fawn, and then the rest 200 something pictures is like a damn uh, a
That's
briar
horrible.
a briar made it go off for a red bird. Like it sucks, but it was fun. It was like because you didn't know what you were going to get, but now I can see what the heck is back there on my food plot right now.
Right
I
now.
can have a camera in Iowa, and I can see what's on camera
Right
right
now.
now. And it's just
So my
it's
question,
suck.
yeah. So here's the big question. Here's the big question for everybody, and they can tune in. Everybody watching, they can comment too. So what would you prefer? Like if you had to have it one way or the other, the way it is right now, or the old school way, being absolutely surprised about what's out there,
I'm
in
being
your
honest,
opinion.
like I'm I'm like it's on the fence. Like it's do you like deer hunting more than turkey hunting? I don't know. Like
You don't know. Yeah.
I would say I've leaned more on like right now I'd make that decision and say that I'll be honest, I'd just rather be done with them and just hunt.
Yeah.
But there's like, you know, I'm doing that Tennessee hunt. Like I don't know what I'm going up there to hunt, and it's so important to know what time a deer's coming out and know what I got. It is so important to know you've got a 170-inch deer on your property. That way you don't shoot that 140-inch that comes out 10 minutes
That's
before,
very
you
true.
know. And it's
Very
like,
true.
and also to just know the biggest thing, especially this is important, like for a newer hunter. My wife is like this, she loves cameras and for this reason, but she's able to put them out and she's able to know, look at that deer. She's able to say, all right, he's got a kicker here. He's got split brow. He's got slick body. He's probably 2.5, 3 year old deer, versus if you're sitting out there in a clear cut and he's chasing a doe across and you see a split brow and a kicker and you're like, oh my God, that's a good deer. You can't see
Yeah.
his belly. You can't see how rutted down he is. You didn't
You're
see a
ready to
trail
shoot.
camera. Yeah. And you didn't have a trail cam picture of him when he was back in the summer and you could judge, he's got some gray on his face or he don't. And you
Yeah.
shoot him, and then you get up to him, and you're like, "Oh my God, this is a 2.5 year old deer. He's got so
I
much
just saw
potential."
I shot a 150-inch 2 year old. That was going to be,
Uh huh. 200. Yep.
yeah,
So like it sucks, but it's like it's just the way it is. I don't. It's a love hate relationship with trail cameras, man. I don't.
yeah.
Um,
I
definitely
agree. And hey,
use
man,
that.
I promote them. I promote them. I mean, I got a guy that I help out try and sell them here locally, and I love them. And he's giving me some to use, and I absolutely love it. Um, and for me, I can speak for me, and this is the honest God truth. I have it at a food plot. I only use it just to monitor my deer herd and to just see what's around. Um, I do know people that have 15 of them out on a property, and they trying to pattern deer, see when they're coming through spot A and see, if they're at spot A at 10 o'clock, are they at spot C at 1 o'clock? What are they doing? You know what I mean? I mean, you can utilize them to that point too and have them all over a whole entire property, and you can pretty much
Yeah.
map out a buck if you
My
want.
biggest thing that like I've learned from these podcasts I do, and just I leave it with it, is because it's more times than not on that when I do these podcasts, they're like, just don't be dependent on the trail camera. Like that's my
Yeah,
only advice. Like if you get dependent on a trail camera, you've messed up, because
yeah,
that's not the way. There's so many good deer who just even getting dependent on feed. I mean, if you
yeah,
feed and you're able to feed and you're not getting anything really coming to the feed, they don't mean nothing, man. If you're sitting there on a clear cut and you got it, or even a food plot, man, I have
mhm,
had so many times a deer come in, big buck, and he don't worry about that feed. He's skirting over there on
mhm.
the edge where he can see the feed and he can see what's there, but he's eating over here, eating the grass and the briars and honeysuckles. He's not worried about the corn. He's not worried about, like, he's smart. He knows, he's associated. He's seen
Well,
other
yeah,
deer get killed
he
off of.
probably he probably knows not to go there until after it gets dark.
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
How do you feel about, driving down that point a little bit more about the, you know, cameras and such, and how we're using them and things like that. And you do a lot of the podcasts, like you say. What would you say the majority of people that you've talked to, how do they feel about like hunting just over like corn piles or bait or something like that? Like I feel like a lot of times we can get so caught up on just like, I'm going to put out some corn. I'm going to sit, hunt in the stand over it. I'm going to get my family some meat. And, a lot of people, that's all they want to do. And they're happy to each their own. Like I said earlier, like you said, to each their own, that's what makes somebody happy. Cool. But I was just going to say from the other side of it and take the other side. I think it's a lot just to want to strive to understand deer more, right? Be a better woodsman. Maybe instead of hunting a corn pile, go try find a where a bunch of trails come together in the woods or something like that. What do you say to that?
Yeah, I mean, I say it like you said, it's his own. Like if it's legal and you
Yeah.
can do it, do it. Like, and if you're happy about it, it's the same thing in principle. I feel like of shooting a 4 point versus a nice big mature 10 point. Like if you're
Mhm.
happy, do it. Like there was a time in my life where I would shoot every 14, 15, 16 inch 8 point to come out, but now I'm just not gonna do it. I know what that deer could be, but I've shot that and I've had that in my mind. I've got that out of my system. Like I just I don't know. It's just like understanding your property is important. Understanding what your deer herd likes and what they don't like. Um, definitely think there's something to be more said about like being able to go out in an oak flat, find that mature white oak, it's dropping good acorns, find that
Mhm.
muscadine vine, and find those persimmon trees, and do that those trails. And I use a lot of beaver dams. They cross in big bucks love crossing those wetland areas, even walking the tops of those dams and even through the water. I've got a lot of places that I just love setting up like that. And I won't put any corn, but I'll just
Yeah.
hunt that because I know they're there. I know they're gonna come through eventually. And like, I don't know, man. It depends on what I'm doing. Like I'll put my cameras out with feed all through the season. I'm bouncing them around. That's kind of my tactic of how I do take pretty good
Yeah.
deer. Is I'll put them out here in the net. I haven't even put them out yet, and I don't because right now still you can't really tell what they are here where I'm at. You can just tell they're a good deer, but you can't really tell what they're going to be. But about that Septemberish, end of August, Septemberish time frame, I'll put my cameras out. I'll start running, putting feet out heavy, and I'll bounce them. I bounce from here to there, and I'm going to this end of the property, and then I'll go a couple hundred yards over, and I'll go to a different spot. And that time of the year, you're getting totally different deer. It's crazy. But like I, if I can get that deer to mature, that mature deer to come to that feed, I'm gonna shoot him over feed. I mean, why the heck
Yeah.
not? It's
Why the heck
legal.
not?
And but
Yeah.
if I ain't really finding anything good, and I know there's a good deer in there, that's when I'll change tactics, and I'll maybe get in there a little bit on him, or I'll get on the where I know he's at, because
Mhm.
I know that there's good deer where they just might not be there. They might not be, and that's something so unique, and something I found learned to come to find out over the years is like deer change their patterns. And in that summer, like right now, man, I think a whitetail buck's core range right now in the hot right now is probably 150 yards.
I was
To
gonna say the same thing. You took
and
words out of
like
my mouth. It ain't hard. Yeah.
so they're and it's gonna be like that about to the dangum day they shed their velvet.
Yeah.
And the cool temps, that first call, cold, crisp morning, they're gonna start moving. And
Yeah.
that's when the storms come in and they start dropping them acorns and pushing stuff off persimmons, and they're able to actually, they're venturing out, they're getting their territories out and established. But like I have found that using a trail camera and feed and getting I put a camera. I started out, man. I put a camera on 200 acres, and I put it in the center of the property, and I'd get a couple scrub bucks and nothing. And I'm like, gosh, dang, man, I know there's good deer in here, but
Yeah.
and I got to the point where I just move it to another property or move it, or just take my camera down. I get, kind of butt hurting like, dadgummit it. But now I've learned, man, you can move a camera 50 yards. I am not exaggerating. You can move a
Yeah.
camera 50 yards and you will be in the money. And I'm like, how did I just move that camera 150 to 100 yards and I've got a 140-inch deer now? What
Yeah.
the heck? Consistent. Not like,
Yeah.
oh, he's just a passer. No, consistent. Like, it's just, you've got to keep it moving. And I don't know about that, though, question. I like woodsmanship. I love
Yeah.
that about it, about hunting. That's what kind of I grew up doing. But like, it is something too about putting some feed out. It's
Yeah.
fun. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love getting some corn and knowing that I've got a deer coming to this area.
I just went with my daughter. When did we go? 2 days ago, Olivia? A couple of days ago, and put out some stuff too, man. And that's what it's all about, like you said. Having your kids join you to do stuff like that, and
Yeah.
going to put some more protein and stuff out. I think we put out some protein for them in this barrel thing I got, and put out another salt block because they've been tearing up that. I mean, not salt. I'm sorry, mineral block. And
Mhm.
but yeah, man, just trying to take care of the deer herd. I got 11 acres that I hunt, man, and it's like we got like 6 does on our property and a few bucks. It's nothing crazy, but that's all I see all the time. Um, I got one that's passing through kind of properties. It's not enough to hold anything, right? So, but I still, for 30 years, I've, just done my best putting food plots all year, and just trying to do my best on holding some deer a little bit, so that way I have something to
That's
hunt.
something to do. Yeah, make it fun. That's right.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with
Just to
that.
make it fun. So for me, I have to kind of lean on like I'll call it deer candy, corn, all that kind. I have to lean on that a little bit more because I don't have the land to just hunt more freely. If that makes sense, you know what I mean? And I feel like there's a lot of people probably out there too that's like that. I mean, if I had 1,000 acres, which I used to have a lot of land to hunt like that, yeah, sure. Then I didn't have to hunt just over a corn pile or over something like that. Then I could go and venture off and go and hunt all kind of different kind of ways, man. And so I think it all depends on that as well.
Yeah, for sure. It does. It's just kind of whatever, like I said, man. There's so many different topics in the outdoor industry, and that's something I've learned that is very, it sucks. It's sad and it sucks. It really does. But like,
Yeah.
there's so many people who get on social media and they're keyboard warriors, and I see it every day, and it's sad. Post a kid with a 6-year-old kid with his first deer, and he's got a crossbow or something, and like, you'll have a 50-year-old man bashing him, and I'm like, dude, come on, like, go
Yeah.
somewhere, like, please, come on.
Yeah.
Dustin Huff, that deer is just, I asked him that because he took that deer with a crossbow. And I said, man, I'm just curious, how much flack have you gotten? And he said, you wouldn't even believe it, because he took it with a crossbow. And I'm like, because a lot of people are like, oh man, a well-bodied, guy, well, he should be
Yeah.
hunting with a compound. That's not fair. Like, man, whatever makes you
What are we doing?
happy and
What are we
whatever is
doing?
in season.
Yeah, I just don't believe like we gotta be better human beings, man. Like as a whole, like I've been hearing a lot of stories lately too, just a whole nother subject, but just stuff that's just discouraging, man. Like we got to do better as outdoorsmen, as people. We're already a very small percentage of the big picture as far as outdoors, like fishing, all that kind of thing. And we gotta
Oh,
we
yeah.
gotta be together, man. We can't bash each other.
Yep. Yep. I agree. It's just something that it's easy to do. Like I said, you sit behind a computer and you sit there and you can make a comment. It's easy to do, but
That's what my daughter's using this year as a crossbow because she's small 7-year-old girl. She don't like the loud gun noises yet. She's not really cool with that yet. So I mean,
yeah.
and that's fine. So we've been working on the whole crossbow this off season at Winnebago. She's
Well,
gonna be
like
ready to take
I
down her
told,
first deer this year.
I've talked to guys on those stories too, and I'm like, if I had a 200 and something inch deer and I had a compound, I could take. I'm about to go hunting that morning. I got a compound or I got my crossbow, and I know that deer is coming on out there about 60 plus yards, 60 to 80 yards. I know it's going to be hard for me to get him in there. I'm taking that freaking crossbow. I don't.
Crossbow, absolutely.
It's freaking no brainer. I mean, like,
Yeah, we
what?
don't even have to talk about why
And,
we
and and the thing that's frustrating, that's so frustrating about it all, is like there's I guarantee you that guy who made that comment or girl, they'd probably do the same thing.
probably do the
It's
same thing.
it's it's like 90% of it is jealousy, is what I've seen it comes
Yeah,
from.
yeah.
That's the funny part, is you'll go to these people's pages and you'll look and see, and if I don't know, it's just something, man. I don't know, just
I
whatever
heard.
makes you happy.
I know, man. I heard. I was listening to Mike Rowe the other day. I don't know if you know who Mike Rowe is, Dirty Jobs guy.
Oh yeah, he's good.
Yeah. I was listening to him on, I think it was Joe Rogan, or was it? No, it was Sean Ryan podcast. I'm sorry. And man, he was just he said something like that. He was like, man, what's jealousy? He's like, jealousy is weird how a lot of people are jealous, and then you'll have a lot of people that look at somebody's success and it's positive to them, right? They'll look at, it can be two different ways they look at it. In other words, they can be jealous, or they can look at it and make them strive harder, right? And I
Yeah,
don't know, man.
yeah. It,
But
it's interesting, man. It's
yeah, it's
interesting how
really good,
people
man.
people work too in the world of uh they I don't know. People live off of negativity. And it's
They
so
do.
hard to do that and live in a positive way when that's the way the world is geared. You have left and right, you have news, breaking news. They always say the bad. You don't have the good. There's
You're
never
good.
good on there. And it's like, it's so sad to see though how the world is geared. That's what gets the views. That's what gets attention, is people want stuff. It's like people want ill intention on some people. So it's just
Weird.
some way some people are geared anyway. I say that, like,
Yeah.
some people
Well,
like that, and they get a high off of that, and I don't
well, I
know
mean,
why.
well, like you said, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, I think social media as a whole is kind of geared towards that. Like the algorithm and everything's geared towards that. Like drama gets comments, likes, shares, like all those kind of things, and like negativity. It's easy to get mad. It's easy to get angry. It's harder, it seems, to go that extra mile to be nice to somebody and to trying to be a better person and be in a good mood.
It's-
I don't know
it-
why, but
That's the best thing you can do. Treat others the way you want to be treated, like
one
I
tricky.
said, and
Yeah,
just be the better person about all of it. And that's all you can do.
yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. I mean, I don't want to keep you all day, brother. I know you got your kid there and everything else. I mean, I could sit here and I could talk probably for another couple hours about
Yeah,
deer.
all
But
good, man. I appreciate your time, man. This has been fun.
no, man, I love it, dude. I just been wanting to get you on and talk with you for quite a while now, and hopefully we get to finally meet one day, man. I don't know. Like I said, we can talk off camera about it or whatever, but I'd love to get y'all more involved in everything we got going on around our area too. You know,
Yeah.
the Buckmasters and stuff like we talked about before. So
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe we can. And a lot of endless opportunity. We have a lot of Luke is a good scorer in y'all's area now, and
yeah,
we're
yeah,
trying to grow our scoring system. And if anybody's listening and wants to become a Buckmaster scorer, that's one of the biggest ways we can help grow in y'all's area. You know,
yep,
running
absolutely,
social. That's what's so frustrating is though y'all have some really good deer in that area, and I'll get a deer picture sent to us, and I'm like, man, I'd love to get a Buckmaster score on that, and then I can't. We don't have a score. I mean, they'd have to
I know.
drive 4 hours to get to a score, and I'm like, man, they gum.
Yep,
So we're trying to grow our scoring system to where we have more scores across the country, and we're
yep,
doing really well. I mean, we've got thousands of scores. It's a pile of scores we already have, but there's just key pockets for some reason. Certain states and areas we just don't have scores.
well,
Um,
that and I've also heard that you'll have all these scores, but you got a very small percentage of active scorers where
yep.
people are actually doing anything.
That's right, and that's exactly right. It's hard to because I mean those people aren't. It's not like they're full time scorers. Like and
Oh yeah,
they're
sure.
not necessarily being compensated to be a scorer. They're doing it on their free time. So it's hard to have somebody to commit fully on that. And so those that
Yeah,
are like that are a blessing for us, and we try to
yeah,
take care of them as much as we can and continue to grow it. But no, man, it's been fun. I appreciate your time and sitting down and talking to me and if there's
yeah,
anything that
sir.
we can do for y'all, just, holler at us, let us know.
I sure will, man. Well, I signed up, brother, so hopefully I can become one. And Lucas is an awesome dude and good teacher. Y'all are in good hands with him and having him.
Yeah.
So hopefully I can become one too and get y'all some bucks sent in from our area. We definitely got a lot of them around.
Yes, sir. That would be awesome. And again, just man, if y'all need anything from us or me or whatever, man, just always holler. We're here.
I appreciate it, brother. Well, take care, man, and tell Allie I said hello, and I appreciate y'all following my page along too, man, and take care, man. Maybe y'all can hook me up, and maybe I can get Allie on here, maybe even the big man sometime, Mr.
Yeah.
Jackie.
Yeah. We could probably do that. Definitely.
I'd love it. Gosh, you talk about a dream. I mean, I man, like me and you were talking about earlier. I mean, on my TV every weekend was either if it wasn't Bill Jordan, it was Jackie Bushman. So
No, I know he's the OG, man. But we
that's
can
true.
definitely do that.
Well, all right, brother. Well, take care, man, and I will talk to you soon, man.
Sounds good. See y'all.
Later, brother.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Well, thank you everybody for watching. And next week I got Mr. Lindsey Thomas Jr. with the National Deer Association coming on. What else, Olivia?
And comment, follow my page too.
That's right. You got a YouTube page, don't you?
Yeah, I usually do it like every week or something.
Yeah.
Not every like every week. And I hope y'all have a good rest of the day and stay tuned for more.
That's the next CEO right there, y'all. Y'all heard her right here. We'll see y'all next week. Thank y'all for watching. Oh, actually, I just forgot. Y'all, Scout Tech.
Out
Go get y'all camera. I forgot I had to restart the video. I didn't do all my things earlier and throw them bamboo. I just want to throw those out there. Y'all go check them out. Um, I should have the links posted. But anyways, and also for those who are just watching, yeah, it's become a money grab. We were talking about some other stuff, but anyways, the fishing report, everybody, yeah, that's gonna be tomorrow. So y'all just hang tight. I'm gonna have a post with some pictures and detailed fishing report, and also do like a little reel for y'all doing the fishing report for the area. Well, thank y'all for watching, and I'll let y'all say bye to my guinea pig real quick, and then we'll see y'all next week. All right, baby, everybody's watching. Stay ready. All right, bye, y'all. Bye.